What's happening, guys? In today's video, we are going to be talking about recessing firewalls. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on that, and then we'll get ours done on the car. I've already started it, but we'll get it wrapped up. Also got a cool car show out in Harrisburg I'm going to take you guys to, show you that. And yeah, should be a pretty good video. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So recessing firewalls, you got options. You can do a blister. A blister is just like a curved dent that you're basically creating and welding into your firewall, or taking the firewall out and working it into the firewall to create a little bit of clearance. You can cut and put a recess in. You can cut and recess the whole firewall. On like Model A's, you can flip the firewall and reverse it, and it takes it from sticking out to sticking in. You can put a different firewall in, you can put a custom firewall in. There's a lot of different routes you can go. In my opinion, when I look at cars, there are good treatments of the firewall and there are really bad treatments of the firewall and everything in between. And I feel like what a lot of guys don't do enough of is sitting and looking at the firewall and letting it speak to you a little bit. You know, just because you just need this little section knocked back doesn't mean you should just cut that section and knock it back. It might not be the most aesthetically pleasing way of doing it. And you see that a lot on Model A's. Model A's have this really neat triangle shape in the middle. A lot of guys will just kind of not use that. I got a buddy, Rocky, and I did a firewall recess for him, and it was great. You know, what Rocky wanted to do is use that bead and make the recess follow that bead so it looks on purpose. That's really what you're after. You know, you want to make every new modifications you do look intentional, look like you put some thought into it, look like maybe it could have even come from the factory that way. Like, you want it to look deliberate. Put some thought into it. Don't just hack away at the thing. Don't just, you know, like, I get that sometimes that's the easy fix. It should be aesthetically pleasing, and down the road you're going to kick yourself when you look at that and you're like, man, I just rushed that and it's ugly, and now it's a little too late. Now it's a lot more work to do instead of going back and thinking it through. Put a lot of thought into it, be deliberate, and really just consider how it's going to look when it's done. Don't be in a big rush. With our car here, the way this cowl tapers down, once you get down to the firewall side, it tapers down. I cut along that crease. And I didn't do the whole thing. I just cut along that crease on the top. It's got a nice radius to it. And I did the notch that way. So basically it's going to look like it tucks down and then the firewall just kind of swoops back in. Anyway, plan is get that in. Maybe a quick coat of filler. We got a couple patches we did on the firewall. And then we should be ready to spray some primer on this thing. We're going to spray primer on the cowl and the firewall and start kind of bolting it together and getting it ready for the show at the end of the month. You can kind of see what I did here. So I figured my 1.5 inches. I did the top first. I checked it. Once I did the top, I set it in the car where it's going to go and just took a look at it. How's it look aesthetically? You know, nothing's really finalized yet. How's it fit the motor, everything. And I made my 2 side pieces. So that'll be boxed in like that. Should look pretty good. We'll get these tacked on where they go. And then I've got some holes to weld up. And what I did is I ran a step bit in these holes just to clean up the metal real quick. And then I'll use my little piece of copper here to back it. Just plug weld all the holes. All right, next we're going to do our filler. Now, I don't use like Bondo or any of that cave and pave, thick stuff. I just use skim coat, top coat stuff. It's great because it kind of self-levels a little bit. It doesn't generally make pinholes, and I really like this particular product. It's called Seal Skin. Really good quality product. I have had zero complaints with it. I never put any filler on more than maybe an eighth of an inch, maybe a 16th, kind of in that range. Eighth is pretty thick, actually, even still for what I do. I try to metal finish things as well as I can to not have to use hardly any filler, but it's inevitable. And if you're not TIG welding and planishing everything, it's going to need some filler. And even if you are TIG welding and planishing everything, it might need some filler. So a nice little skim coat like this, it doesn't need it everywhere, but over some of your welds, over some rust pits, pitting and stuff like that, it'll do really well. But yeah, I really like this product. Seal Skin is what it's called. And you mix it the same as you would mix any other filler, about a golf ball gets an inch of hardener. So, yep, good stuff. Well, I tripped, cut my leg. Now I gotta go get stitches. So. All right, guys, let's mix up some primer. I'm going to put a little bit of thinner in it. And then we'll go wipe down the cowl and the dash with some tack cloth and some degreaser. Degreaser first. This is Prep All. It's a wax and grease remover. Let's try to get this thing clean and ready. All right, let's see here. Not enough. I turned it down too much. Okay, try that. Not sure why. I'm switching up and putting it in my HVLP gun, which is I normally use for finishing work, but for some reason that gun's just not working. So I'm gonna deal with that at another time, but not right now. Now's not the time. Okay, that one's working. We'll start with the dash, I suppose. We're over here. Sure where I lost you guys there, but hopefully I recorded most of the spraying because it turned out pretty good. The recessed firewall looks good. There's still some pitting. You can see some pitting. Let's see the dash. Dash turned out good. There's my piece of metal that chopped up my leg. You can see got everything all in there. All primered. Hopefully I actually recorded that. It'd be a bummer if I missed it, but we'll let that dry and we'll get our gun cleaned up, and then we can start putting the body back down and bolting it in, and we're done. All right, body's back on its mounts, and you can see we have perfect clearance. Oh, not too close, but not too far away either. That's only with 1.5 inches. You know, I think it really turned out good. The look of the whole thing looks really natural. I think most people probably don't know what a 25 Dodge looks like, so if they looked at it, they might think, yeah, it's looks fine. You know, the Firewall doesn't look strange or out of place. It doesn't look like I hacked it and just stuck it back where I needed it. You know, it has a really smooth look to it. Well, we got it back together, and it is looking really good. I'll tell you what, this is the vision I had in my head when I saw a pile of parts sitting in the junkyard, and it's really coming together. It's looking like the car I had pictured in my head completely. I don't know that I knew that it was going to have a Lincoln 337, but otherwise it's got that look. So I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling good about the Firewall recess. Things are really coming together there. Got my windshield template made, and that's off to the glass shop, to Bob's Classic Glass, to get cut. I'm going to get just a clear safety glass windshield cut. And yeah, things coming together. Feeling really good about it. It's slowly but surely becoming the car that I dreamed up. But hope you guys have been enjoying the content on it. I've been really pushing hard, and I'm hoping we'll have the thing running very soon. But let's go check out that car show in Harrisburg.
All right, if that's you, you got the raffle ticket. It's ready. The winner right now is 1231. Make your way to the DJ booth and claim your prize.
overall, it was a great show, small show, but a local show that I've never been to before, and I really enjoyed it. Had a great turnout. Some of these cars, I really, a lot of these cars I haven't seen at other shows locally. It was a lot of fun. Well, we got it done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. I am going to be out of town because the twins are being born, so there might be a missed video over the next couple weeks, and I'm sorry about that. But priorities. Appreciate all you new subscribers. I know there's been quite a few of you, and the channel's been growing great, and I really appreciate it. So, thanks, guys. If you have any questions, feel free. The email is down below. The Buy Me a Coffee link's down below in the description. And yeah, if you want to drop a comment, if you got a question, or if you want to shoot me an email, feel free. I'm available. So, catch you guys on the next one. Later.